All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of From the Outer Reaches, a wrestling podcast. I'm once again your humble host, Daniel, joined by my co hosts.
Yeah, boy, Zach.
And David again.
Back again. He keeps showing up. It's like you leave treats out like a
You leave
cat.
treats out and then you lock the door.
Yeah. And
That's kind of what it feels like. I've been stuck in here for a while.
What
he's here
you
forever.
can't see is we've put a blanket around him tightly and firmly, just like a cat, and he can't get away.
No, he's sitting there confused.
He's
like
confused.
booties on a dog when they're just like,
He doesn't know how to get out.
how do I walk? I don't like this. But yeah, so today's episode, I mean, it has to be the most obvious episode in the entire world. Royal Rumble reactions. And oh boy, do we have some thoughts, some feelings. Triple H really threw some curveballs at the world right now. We'll talk about the big four matches. I guess we'll kind of honorary mention DIY and Motor City Machine Guns, because God bless them, they went out there to no pop.
Oh, that is the worst. The worst possible spot is to go on right after one of the Rumbles.
Yeah.
I told Daniel, like, this probably wouldn't have been a good idea, but like, you may as well just make that the first match and just come out a little flat and then just straight up.
Yeah. Or it was so they were stuck. They either had to give the tag team match equivalent of Sammy, Kevin versus the Usos in order for anybody to care.
They should have thrown like R-Truth out or something.
You like this?
Like, that would have been cool. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree. Something. Look at the thing.
Tickle the keys.
Take their attention. But yes, we're gonna talk about the Royal Rumble. So me and David, me and David have had a night to sleep on it, to think.
And I am coming. I literally just finished watching the men's Royal Rumble, so we are getting fresh thoughts.
Fresh thoughts. Me and David have had a chance to scream in the bathroom, just
as well as read comments online.
Oh man, it is interesting. So let's talk about let's talk about match one, which was, of course, the women's Royal Rumble. I think it was actually really good. I think they showed how much young female talent that they have. Because they were just like these, like I knew who they were, and I was like, oh, they're bringing out like these women are gonna win, Charlotte and Becky, and this is gonna be it. This is the new guard that's coming in.
It was cool seeing the TNA, the TNA Women's Champion out, or the one who signed with WWE now.
Yeah, Jordan Grace.
Yeah. It was cool. It's cool that they like acknowledge TNA as a thing and they talk about Impact and stuff like that. I like that.
We couldn't kill you.
But so we'll finally kind of respect you that you're still out there.
We tried so hard to smother you with the pillow.
They're just in these basements and they're
just a roach.
Yeah, they're just in the cracks. So David, what did you think? Because I know, like we said, I knew a lot of who the female wrestlers were. But what did you think of like the action and stuff like that? What are your thoughts?
I had a lot of fun with it. A lot of faces I wasn't super familiar with. I don't really follow NXT at all, so it was helpful with Daniel there to kind of be like, this is this person, this is that person, as well as some of like the older faces that came in. I thought it was a good match though. I enjoyed my fun with it was how many people are they gonna have in the ring at one time, and I think the women topped out at like 14
to 15. I think it was 15.
Yeah, there's a lot.
See where the men never, and we'll get there, but never got that high. But also, I think some of the move sets and the size, the guys were a little bit bigger. So
Braun Strowman takes up space.
People.
The big man.
Zach, what about you?
It was. I thought it was really solid. There was no moment of it where I really was like, wow. It was. I thought it was just kind of. It stayed very kind of like flat, and not like in a bad way. Like I think it was just kind of like it just kind of like maintained its pace. I thought the ending felt very rushed to me. I thought that ending sequence could have been drawn out a little bit more for a little bit more like drama in it, but that was just.
I think so too. I don't know about you guys, but how do we feel about me and Zach? I mean, Charlotte was the champion when I came in to wrestling, and she's kind of like Nia Jax, just like, oh, somebody else has the belt, and she just pops in and goes, hello.
Leads in, yeah. I like Charlotte. I do. It's a safe choice. It's just kind of, it's a little bit of a boring choice, and it's not bad, but it's not. It was like I said, it was like, oh, Charlotte will win. She'll just come back and win. And I really felt that when it was like when it came down to the last couple, I'm like, oh, Charlotte's just gonna roll through. But I don't think it's wrong. I just think it's a little boring.
Who does she challenge in your mind, Zach?
Who do we got? We got Rhea, right?
And Rhea and Tiffany.
Rhea.
I see. I went the other way. I thought she's going to go up against Tiffy.
I like that.
Yeah.
And I think she takes the belt.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
That I don't know. I assume it seems like she's a big name. I'm not familiar with her, but based off the pop and all that, I could see her taking the belt, and then maybe there's like a little feud between the two for a bit, and then see where it goes.
Battle of the Barbies.
Yeah, I mean that could be a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean they're both great wrestlers. There's no taking anything away from Charlotte. It, like a way I kind of liken it. I was having a lot of shower thoughts, and it's kind of like the Pro Bowl, right? Back when like was Peyton, Tom, Roethlisberger were like the three every year for the, and then you're like, that's fine, I get it.
Yeah, you're like, I get it. Like, yeah.
But what if we, what if
put a young gun in?
Yeah, exactly.
What if Chad Pennington slid in there every once in a while?
What if Phillip Rivers got a couple? But yeah, so I would give it probably about a B plus.
Yeah,
overall.
I would just say a B. Like it was just like, and like I said, I feel like I just never had one moment where I was like, wow, like it had a lot of fun moments, like Piper coming in as like the security.
Yeah, Chelsea's
that was
fun.
funny.
And I was gonna say, I don't know if anyone else thought this, but I remember sitting there and I was like, "Oh, Piper's gonna knock out Chelsea." I don't know how.
Yeah.
Like at some point, it's just gonna be like the Three Stooges and just like a.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's fun about Chelsea is that I think too the problem she's kind of become like an R-Truth character, and I know we've talked to Zach about like R-Truth and how he kind of like people forget that I can wrestle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and I think she can wrestle, and I think she's great, and she does what not many wrestlers do, which is work the crowd. It's like the old school stuff, right? They hit and they're like, yeah, and they're like looking at everybody and like doing the Hogan stuff. She goes back to the Hogan stuff a lot, and I like that.
She plays her character very well. Like she knows what she's doing. Like it's just like it's a very well crafted. Like who she is, what her personality is, how she's gonna act around everyone. Like she's a very well realized wrestling character.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think for people who aren't big, for you guys who aren't NXT fans, so Julia, Stephanie Vaquer, and Roxanne Perez are like the next big three of women's wrestling. I don't know if you got that because there's a scene where they have the old guard, so like Charlotte's in it and all them, and then they stand in front and they kind of look at each other. That was probably my moment. I was that's cool, but that was because I knew who they were. But it was his representation of like this is when they leave, this is who's gonna hold up women's wrestling.
Yeah.
Roxanne Perez is cool. Her finishing move is called Pop Rocks, which is cool. I don't know about Stephanie and Julia, but Julia came from New Japan, and I don't remember where Stephanie Vaquer came from, but Julia was in New Japan. So her and Io have crossed paths. So that's why they had like her and Io getting in each other's faces.
I just liked I really liked Julia's Mortal Kombat character when she came out. I was like, oh, what Mortal Kombat character we got here?
I think it was fun. I think the women had more surprises in terms of who was coming out instead of in comparison to the men's. Yeah, I liked it. I think that was good. So let's move on to the ugly step cousin of the whole card, which was DIY versus Motor City.
I thought you were gonna say the ladder match. I was like, what?
No, Motor City Machine Guns are fun. I think they're good. They just get booked with awful people. That's my thought.
They have a great name.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I like it. It's like their move's called Skull and Bones.
Yeah, it's very like old. Like it's just very old school. Like it was like we were talking about. It's just old school wrestling, which is fine. Which is fun.
Yeah. I learned that DIY actually meant do it yourself.
It works. As
I thought they were gonna maybe do a different spin as a wrestling group, but it's just do it yourself.
It works as like a face thing, like kind of like a John Cena, like never give up.
Are they faces?
Yeah. No, so they used to be for
what?
So they used to be for a very long time, and then Tommaso Ciampa came back, and Johnny is, if you like Wonder Bread with a little bit of mayo, some cheese, and some turkey, he was it. Is
Johnny Triple H face or
no? Ciampa is Triple H face.
Ciampa is Triple H. Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Johnny looks like you're just like, hi, I'm normal out of all of them. and then finally to win the titles, he like low blowed somebody, and so Ciampa when he came back was like, no, we need to be evil to make this work. And so Johnny didn't want to be evil, and then finally they became. So the push is that like Johnny's become a heel finally, but they're not like heels. You know what I mean? Like they're not like Dominic.
No.
They're like, ha! I changed all the caps on your pens, and now you think the blue is the red one and the red is the green one. You idiot. They're fine.
I fooled you, you moron.
They're fine. I don't think they should have gotten the title thing. I think they did it as a test for tag team just to see how it hits.
Like, what have they done in the past? Is it normally just another storyline that's kind of big that gets its own slot, or do they just do the 2 Rumbles and then like some title?
I remember last year's. Do you remember, Zach?
The tag team? No, there's nothing.
Let me see. Last
Like
year,
for Royal Rumble, like what is the usual like quote unquote like framework for a schedule? The men and the women's.
Oh, it
like,
usually goes the
title.
men's, women's, and then you get like a shorter match. So you'll have some sort of like Intercontinental USA match.
Okay.
And then you'll have usually a bigger title match. It's basically exactly what happened this time. The
But
problem is
just
they
did
don't
it
want
doubles.
to put the big title match just straight after a Rumble, because that's usually like the bathroom break match. That's usually the come down match.
Mhm.
And for a very long time, that's where they would put the women's matches, right? Because they would go like something big, and then they'd do like a 5-minute Kelly match, and then it would go into like
Zach wasn't going to the bathroom.
Dog.
no, I wasn't.
Locked in.
So I looked up last year's, Zach. This is a formative moment as well. That was the Bray Wyatt LA Knight Mountain Dew match.
The Mountain Dew, yep, that's exactly the kind of match.
Holy shit!
Was that a good match?
It was.
It was a fun match.
That was what started LA Knight got dragged to hell in the Mountain Dew Voltage match, and that was the last time we saw Bray.
Rest in peace, Bray.
Yeah.
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, I know. It was the last. It was a very strange match. I remember me and Daniel watched it, and we were just like, "Wow, look at everything was Mountain Dew."
Just all green. Was the mat green too?
And this is when Daniel was first like really getting into wrestling, if I remember correctly.
It was okay. So that was 2023. Alexa Bliss was in it.
2023, yeah.
I do not remember her being in that.
In the 2023 one, not 2024.
Yeah, I'm looking. I made a boo boo. We're looking up to 2024. I forget that we're in 2025 right now.
Oh, so you looked at 2023? Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, 2023 was when I got into it. That was the first, I think, pay-per-view I watched. And that was with LA Knight.
Yep. You were like, who's Uncle Howdy? Why is he?
It ends. So everything's blacklight. So LA Knight's wearing this like neon yellow, and then Uncle Howdy, and Bray Wyatt was the Fiend, and Uncle Howdy was like his like the Violator from Spawn, I guess.
Yeah, just this little minion.
And it ends with like LA Knight being on this table or something, and Uncle Howdy just like from like they built this structure, and he just like it was like a 20-foot drop elbow, and then LA Knight just disappears, and that was it.
Dead.
And then we saw him again. He was all over the place.
Yeah, he was all over the place. All right, last year's was Bayley won the Royal Rumble. Roman Reigns defeated AJ Styles, LA Knight, and Randy Orton for the Fatal 4-Way. Logan Paul defeated Kevin Owens. And then Cody Rhodes beat
He won the men's.
Yeah, he won the men's. So I would say that's probably a little bit more solid.
I was like, that sounds like a pretty good.
Yeah, the Motor City
it
Machine
was. So sorry, Motor City Machine Guns.
As Zach put it, just the bathroom match.
Yeah.
or for some people, taking a nap match.
Sometimes it's time to sleep.
I think I missed the fact. It really shows you that like you got to hit people with some tables and shit, like attack teams, like the Dudleys and stuff. Like we got to bring more of that back.
Yeah, should have done like a street match or something.
Yeah,
that was peak tag teams. Was like the Dudleys, like trying to kill the Hardys just constantly.
Here's a table. Oh, who's that? Oh God, he went through it. So next match was the famed Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens ladder match. This one I had some thoughts about. How'd you guys feel about where it went? And it was a great match. I give it an A as a match. It was fun. Ladder matches are slow. There was a slow build up.
It was very slow.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but when you start falling off,
but it got there. It did.
It got there. But if you get or Kevin Owens in a match with a ladder or something he can dangerously throw himself into, you're gonna have a good time at some point. It may take a little bit to get there, but you're gonna go ooh at some point.
Yep. Kevin is a feels like a love letter to a lot, like the Hardys and like the Dudleys of like, well, I'll go through it. Fuck it, I guess.
Okay, yeah, shit.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. No, you're fine. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I don't know if I've ever seen a mini ladder like that ever used, or the little steps tool. It's just like somebody in props department was having some fun, I guess.
Then need to make another one. I like it too because you could do like a little bit of the safer senton bomb off of it. How he does his little front flips.
I thought he about near died at the end though.
Yeah.
Went through that. I was like, oh.
When he went through it, what do you think this? How do you think this impacts Cody Rhodes' story? Because we saw him become kind of like evil, and he kind of looked at Kevin like, "Well, this is what you get."
Yeah,
He is the Senate now.
Yep.
He's Palpatined it.
I think so. Yeah, I feel like this is just one step on him becoming more villainous. It was just him being like more vindictively aggressive in a match, if that makes sense.
I mean, he basically beat Kevin to death on the announcer table. I thought Sammy was going to come in and like save the day, the beating that Kevin was getting.
So there are some. So Zach, you freshly remember. So there are some conspiracy theories that I've seen on the internet that are saying that there was a botch at some point because Sammy came out dressed in all black, and usually when you do that, you're gonna interfere in some way, shape, or form. So people were saying that somebody made a boo boo and they just kind of ran with it, or Kevin is a lot more hurt than they think.
Do you think the match got ended early?
Yeah,
because it was a long commercial break. I mean, there was a lot to clean up, but it was kind of like, huh.
I didn't notice anything, but they are good at covering things up. You know what I mean? Like they are good at keeping things moving. And I didn't notice anything in particular that I would have thought was a major botch, but
I thought that not the final bump when they were at the announce table, but when they were in the ring before Sammy came out, when what was off the corner, and then Cody kind of landed and Kevin, they both kind of landed. I felt awkwardly. I thought that was kind of weird because Cody was down in a way and the ref was over there. And I know he didn't do the X, but I was just like, I don't know, something seemed off.
Yeah.
Maybe the world will never know.
The world will never know.
That's the downside of the wrestling too, or the beauty and downside, because they're like, no, we got to keep it going. So you really don't know, like, was that an accident? How much of this is a work? How much of this is like a bit?
I'm pretty sure there was a pretty big botch during the Royal Rumble, though.
The men's or the women's?
The men's.
Okay, we'll have to pocket that one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw a pretty big one there.
He did nothing wrong. He did nothing wrong. He was beautiful and pure. So where do we go with Kevin? So who does Cody end up wrestling? Because it's
Sammy.
That'd be fun.
Because I think because we were watching the Torrent and he brought this up, because watching Sammy's reaction to Cody beating the crap out of Kevin, you kind of get the vibe where he's going to team up with Kevin. And so we were like, oh, okay, Sammy wins the Rumble and then he'll challenge Cody. But obviously that.
Well, you can even play it as Sammy goes to Cody and goes like, hey, like, listen, like, I get that you had to beat him, but what you were doing was like beyond. And then Cody can go, what, you too? You're saying that everyone's out to get me? Like, I feel like you can play it like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you can be like, no, like that just wasn't that wasn't the person that you are. That was way too much. And then Cody could be like, no, you're turning against me too. Everyone is against me. Yeah. And that could be a fun way to keep that going.
Because I wonder if they do like put Kevin, like have him sit out until WrestleMania and then he'll come back as like the, Gandalf on the last day, riding in to save, Sammy or something.
I like that.
I like it too. I think it'll be interesting to see because the transformation of Cody, the evolution of Cody Rhodes, I think is what we'll call this era. But it's going to be crazy to see who's next in line to fight him. Because you can do Punk.
Mm-hmm.
You can do, but I feel like there's. So I think Seth and Roman are going to be a WrestleMania event.
Yeah.
because they really haven't buried that hatchet, and they've done a very good job of like both of them. Like, I hate you.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the double foot stomp that he did outside the ring on Roman?
Dude,
That I watched that and I went, fuck. I was like, whoa.
Not the tribal chief anymore, bitch.
should we move on to the men's, or is there any more we want to go over with the ladder match?
I don't know. I think we're good with the Cody and Kevin. I think Kevin's just or will come back one day and fight Cody somehow. But okay, let's talk about men's Royal Rumble. Zach, you texted us and said God is dead.
So as you all know, I unabashedly I love my boy Johnson. I don't think how it ended was bad. I actually like how it ended.
Mm-hmm.
It's just is always sad because he looks so sad every time. Like, no, I want to give you a hug. No, John, I'm sorry. And those Make-A-Wish kids, they were all giving you the power.
I mean, John got a hug just from Jay after Jay won, so
true. But it was. I thought. No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
I was gonna say overall, I thought the whole men's Royal Rumble. I really enjoyed the whole men's Royal Rumble. Starting off with Pentagon and Ray, I think was a great choice.
It was a good start.
Yeah,
I wasn't expecting it to start that way, but like it was, and then it kind of turned into like the Mexican wrestlers versus like everybody else.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that because so what was it? I think it was Ray was 1, Penta was 2, and I was like, oh, Gable was 3.
And then what's
Carmelo Hayes?
Yep.
Carmelo Hayes is fantastic, by the way. Him being a mid-card goon is kind of whack, honestly.
Yeah.
But those first 4 I thought were solid because it allowed kind of that luchador, high-flying, like kind of style. They weren't sending a bunch of big boys. Drew McIntyre wasn't out there and like, I don't know.
No, I agree because I think they had like one move. Penna had Ray stand on like his shoulders and do like a flip off of him. Like that's like the fun stuff. That's what Lucha Underground was about. And, there wasn't many surprises. I didn't go, wow, that's crazy. I thought Logan at 30 was kind of crazy though.
Yeah,
Logan at 30 was crazy. Aisha Speed getting killed by Braun Breaker was very funny to me.
Braun's something, dude. The men's division is top heavy, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, I noticed. So the botch I noticed was Finn. So John Cena comes in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fights Finn. So he knocks out Braun Strowman. And then he's got Finn up because, they're on the ring apron and he's going to AA Finn off.
Yeah.
He goes to AA Finn. Braun Strowman goes to catch Finn and drops him. Because if he caught him, he would have still been live.
Yeah.
But if you watch it, Braun Strowman goes to like get him and he like fumbles it and drops Finn. And he just goes, fuck, and walks away.
Okay, I did kind of notice that too. I was like, because he tossed him out, and usually on those throws, there's somebody to catch him. And I was like, oh, okay. And then Braun just kind of let him fall, and I was like, oh, he didn't catch him.
No, if you watch, I feel like he was supposed to catch him and it was going to be a thing, but he just kind of like fumbled it.
Oops. Damn it, Braun.
But they just kept going. So,
what about you, Dave? What did you think about the men's Royal? I know you liked.
I thought it was fun. A lot more faces that I knew. Yeah, I enjoyed the Luchadors. The boy Joe Hendry came out.
I did like Joe Hendry.
That was a big pop. I only knew him because of that interviewer Chris
Van Vliet.
But I thought they did a good job. I thought the order most of the order was good. I would agree with Logan coming in last was a little odd.
Yeah.
I thought they could have brought Joe Hendry out last and that would have gotten a big pop, but either way. It was fun. The Final Four wasn't who I expected to be, but it was still a good match. I agree with Zach that it was still good.
Yeah. Shout out to The Miz for breaking out like a Hurricanrana. That was pretty fun.
Shout out to The Miz. I love The Miz. The Miz just shows up.
Yeah, nothing left to prove anymore. He just.
Yep. He's like, oh, what do you want me to do? I'll get thrown out in 5 seconds? Okay.
Shit, on the way.
Ludwig Kaiser getting thrown out early was kind of surprising.
It was funny because right when that happened, I had gone to the restroom, so I just hear out like Kaiser set a record for like failing, and I was like, "Yeah, that's real."
Damn it!
Oh, they're calling me out.
But let's talk about the big So obviously, we talked right now about Roman Seth. It seems like that's going to be a feud that is going to be big. Obviously, Paul or CM Punk, Paul Heyman owes him a favor.
I think he's going to be tied into that somehow.
Yeah.
Just with how that they all kind of wrung each other out. And then there was still kind of some fighting outside the ring, mainly Seth and Roman, but still, like, I think those three are going to have something that's going to bleed into WrestleMania.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Especially with Paul Heyman owing CM Punk some kind of undisclosed favor. I feel like
It's coming at WrestleMania.
I feel like that's gonna
Maybe they're gonna do a 3-way match at
Yeah.
WrestleMania or something, and like
Yeah.
Paul's gonna poison the water. I don't know.
I need you.
Come here, Roman. Drink.
I need you to
this.
kill Roman Reigns.
I
I
was
need
gonna
you to
say-
inject him with this.
He's gonna stab him in the back, and Roman's just gonna turn around and be like, "Hey, tu brute."
that'd be interesting to see. I don't know if Paul's ever gonna, because Paul doesn't really. Does he ever betray? Because I know he was Brock's guy. Did he ever betray Brock, or he just kind of go like, "Oh, I don't like you anymore. I'm gone."
He just kind of left. He didn't like betray him. He just left.
He went, I'm tired of you.
When he left CM Punk, or was it CM Punk that left?
CM Punk ended up leaving like the company.
Okay, so
it
wasn't like Paul was like, "Bye, you're not good anymore."
No, Paul wasn't. Yeah, no, that
Oh,
was
yeah.
just it. Just kind of ended. I don't think. Yeah, Paul Heyman's never really betrayed anyone. He just kind of like leaves when it's no longer
Yeah,
advantageous for him to be around.
when he has another horse to hitch his trailer to.
Yeah,
I did
Um,
think Seth was gonna go beat him up, and I was like, "Don't, Seth, don't do that.
Don't do
you
it."
mess with Paul Heyman."
That would have been some major heat, though.
It would have been like, he's a national treasure.
he is.
I mean, that's what the Bloodline did. New Bloodline did to get some heat on them. Was they just put Paul through a fucking table, and he looked like he died at the end of it.
Well, he
He
looked
was
like
like,
he had died
"Ugh."
before that because he hadn't shaved and he hadn't slept in like days.
God bless Paul, dude. He gets it.
Oh yeah.
He gets it, and he committed to the bit.
No one
Uh.
plays their character at all times, like Paul Heyman does.
Yeah.
Just like if you watch a match and you just see what he's always doing when he's just like planning, or like the faces he makes is so good.
Mm-hmm.
What
There-
was it, Daniel? Who was it where you could see in the background?
Oh, Ray.
Penta or Rey Mysterio was in the background, just like,
It was somebody got slapped, I think, or something like
Was
that.
it?
Somebody got slapped in the face, and I think nobody was expecting it. And you see Ray like go, "Oh shit!"
Otis really slapped.
Oh, Chad.
that's what it
Chad.
was. Yeah,
Like he caught him like back here, like
Dude.
full.
Yeah, that was.
I just loved
yeah,
it because you just see Ray in the background go, "Oh,
No.
that was a good pop. I was kind of reading some stuff like the Bleach Report had an issue with like how many big names just kind of just got tossed over really fast, like Drew again, just Drew Short again. How quickly they tossed like Seth and all of them. But yeah, I think the biggest surprise was it. So how do you feel? How do you guys feel about it? So Jay won, right?
Yeah.
I
John
don't
made
think
me.
any of this predicted that."
No.
John holding onto the rope with his feet dangling. I was like,
Yeah.
John, believe.
John gets it, dude. I saw him. I was like, no.
Oh, speaking of the feet, Zach,
Oh,
Yeah.
beginning of the match, did both of Penta's feet touch the floor?
Watching it live,
That's a
only
yes.
it looked like one touched.
I don't know about that.
However-
It looked like two to
However,
me
I'm pretty sure if one touched, they would have showed a replay.
because
So
you
you'd
have
be like, oh, look how close it was. I'm pretty sure two touched. I only saw the one, so it was enough to where we could.
if you looked in the background, the ref just sitting there, and you could tell he's like, "What do I do?" And then
And then
after like a
eventually they
minute,
were
he
like,
starts going like one, but it's
"One."
like, dude, you were so late on that.
my belief. No, first off, he did nothing wrong. But secondly, so my question was because I was trying because the funness of wrestling is how semantic it wants to be sometimes, and how it chooses not to be. So for me, I was like, well, both feet have to touch, but does it say at the same time?
Time?
Because he 1-2'd. So technically, when the first foot is like a football catch, when the first foot touched, the other foot was up. When the second foot touched, the other foot was up.
He had possession of the ball.
The ball,
That's all
So
I'm
I
saying.
think it was
because usually when people are out, it's both feet touch, right? Like they like land.
I mean, NFL's now doing. You could do two with the right foot. They've called that as a catch.
So what's
The
so
pop.
is so that's something. So is that the if anybody knows
I
listening to
would've-
this?
they just
They-
stopped
they
the
couldn't have-
rumble, and they're like, well, I don't know.
It was so early that they couldn't have done it.
Yeah.
Like, and I get
Yeah.
it. Like, don't call him out. But it was also that moment of like, I think he was out.
I think he didn't realize how close you are when you're hanging from that middle rope. Your feet, if you're decent
And it's got some
height,
give too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
I just me watching it live. It happened so fast. I thought it was one. So it didn't bother me going on to the match because I'm like, oh, it did happen so fast. It wasn't an obvious
1-2.
Yeah.
So that's my semantic argument, which is that it says both feet have to touch the ground, but it does not say if they have to be simultaneous or like it has to like. Because what if you hop on one foot? In theory, right? Like I know we're being pedantic, but
I think if you yeah, I think I've seen it. I think Kofi
See, I just think it'd be funny if it's just like first two, somebody gets knocked out in 30 seconds, and then it's like the other person's just sitting in the ring for a minute and a half, just
like,
waiting.
I was telling David about the famous when they accidentally knocked out Undertaker.
Oh yeah,
it was Maven Huffman, and he flipped him over, and I think they didn't realize how tall he was, so he like landed, and everyone went, "Oh,
we got to make this up at the same time."
Oops.
I mean, I know there was one where like Cena and somebody else they landed at like the exact same time, which wasn't planned, and everyone was like, "Who won?"
Coin flip.
Tune in next week, and we'll tell you.
They ended up playing it off well because they were both like, "I've won." Like they were both saying each other won it. If I'm remembering this correctly.
Did the refs have to come together and like?
I think they ended up
replay.
like it was like some sort of like I think they had a match later to like qualify who won
to settle it.
Yeah,
it makes good content.
It does. So Jay Uso winning. Well, obviously we didn't have that on our bingo cards for that night. How do we feel?
Good for him. He's getting a push. I don't think any of us. I think we literally had a discussion saying like I don't think Jay's going to get a push. Or did Zach call it?
I think so.
I said Punk. Oh, but I did say he would get a push. Yeah,
you would like it's always fun when the mid Carter gets a little push like Santino.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's.
I think it'll be big. I think he's going to go back up against Gunther, and then Cody's going to slot in with somebody else. And I don't think Cena's going to go for a belt. Maybe for like the American or the IC, but I don't think he's going for heavy belt or the champion.
I could see a world where he challenges Cody, and that's what pushes. And that's what pushes Cody to like the edge because he's like these Samoans.
Cody last WrestleMania?
I think so, but he could be like these Samoans won't leave me alone.
Now John Cena won't leave me alone.
John Cena
because I don't know is he doing the whole year or does he stop at WrestleMania? Did he specify?
I think WrestleMania
12 months.
He's doing all 12.
Till the end of December.
Then maybe they do. I mean, I guess we'll see, but maybe they do. He does fight Cody. He gets the record with the belt, and then he'll drop it at like SummerSlam, and then they'll kind of like ride him out till the end of the year.
Yeah,
that would be David has a good point because if you think about it, right, John wins. He gets Elimination Chamber. Which, by the way, if you haven't seen him cut that promo at the end, about so they have him sitting down. He talks about how he's gonna win Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
Oh, that man could tell me that we're gonna like Gandalf telling us that death is a journey we all must go on.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I was gonna charge behind him on D-Day.
Oh, dude, I'd run for Frodo.
Every time.
But no, that could be an interesting take. So John wins Elimination Chamber, challenges Cody, beats Cody. Cody goes, "I'm the face of the company. You guys give it to John."
Yeah.
He's leaving in 4 months. How dare you? And then we just watch the Roman Reigns begin.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because maybe John assembles like the Avengers, like Sammy and like maybe some other people, and he's like, "All of you have betrayed me."
Yeah, cuts like a Denzel in Training Day kind of promo, like, "Oh, you motherfuckers."
Yeah, it has to end. If they go that way, that WrestleMania has to end with Cody flipping heel, like full on. Cena goes to shake his hand. Cody goes bonkers.
Hits him with the tape. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you gotta like really hammer that home, and that would be fantastic.
Because who else do we have left? He hasn't wrestled Randy yet, right? Cody hasn't.
No.
So
maybe Randy comes out on John's side too, and he was like, "Kevin was right, John."
Yeah.
You went too far now.
Yeah.
That would be good because you have Randy. He hasn't fought yet, so something has to happen with Randy, I think, because he has to beef with everybody who helped him win.
Yeah.
And then
he fights Undertaker.
Then Undertaker takes Cody's soul.
Oh, When Cody's become evil enough, the Undertaker
It's a
comes
buried
calling.
alive match or a coffin match, whatever it's called.
That would be, dude. A coffin match would be kind of crazy. I can see Cody doing it.
Yeah.
But does Jay? I don't know how I feel about Jay. I'm gonna be honest. Listen, like, it's not that because I was reading comments on the internet like David was, and people were like, "Oh, you want it to be different, and now that it's different, you don't like it." And I'm like, I think if John wasn't retiring, people would feel better about it.
Yeah.
But because John's retiring, that will always loom over them.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm not mad at it. It's just like, because he again, more shower thoughts. He's lost to Gunther twice.
Yeah.
You have to
Are
build
we going to make it 3?
That's what I mean. Because you have to build it up. Because I'm gonna be honest, I was thinking about this, and I watched a video of Jimmy and Jay. Remember when they had their brother match?
Yeah.
And that was the DIY Motor City Machine Guns match of WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever get, I don't know if you watched that, David, but if you ever get the chance,
I watched it because I watched last year's WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That was the Yeet versus no Yeet.
That was aggressively disappointing.
Yes.
For me. And like I think that's when I kind of fell out of it with Jay, and I was like, okay, well, like that sold it. The whole story sold itself. Like you didn't have to hype, you didn't have to cut. I don't know. I think it's like I get it. He's the he's the most over. I understand that, and I understand everybody likes doing it. I do it too. I'm not saying I'm not.
I didn't see much of it, Daniel. I was there with you. I didn't see much.
I got because John Cena was in there, and John Cena said never give up.
And John Cena always wins.
And John Cena always wins.
Except for yesterday.
God damn it. It was 625 Make-A-Wish kids. Just no.
Oh, no. Just like Alderaan, they just
you have to
blew apart.
Do you do that? Do you find each kid that he's done a Make-A-Wish for, and they cut like a video for him and they show that at the end?
Oh, could
like,
you? Oh,
I'd cry.
Oh, I cried too.
And not to be that negative person, but Daniel, I don't think they're going to find all of them. I'm just stating it for the record.
David's the heel of the podcast.
I'm not trying to be a heel, but I'm like, I hope that they all made it, but I'm just being realistic. And
David's
I don't know how many tombstones you want to be showing to John on his big day.
Jesus Christ. David's the
speech bubbles put by them.
In memorial.
Maybe the parents. They could go to the parents and talk about how big of it was. So, all right. Sorry. I just had to bring it up. I'm like,
now I'm sad.
What?
No, that is a good point.
And they need a heel to cut a promo and be like, why does every child that John Cena visits dies? Coincidence?
I think not. Here's the math.
Here's the math.
John Cena's killing these
souls.
John Cena, angel of death.
Undertaker's like, people thought I was bad.
No, it's John Cena. John Cena gives him the kiss of death. So Jay has to do Gunther. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Unless Gunther drops before and then he fights somebody else.
I'm not excited about it.
You could because you could do Gunther could go okay, like you could build it up like Gunther's like okay, like I beat you, so like this is literally you can have him run down Jay so bad just constantly, just be like no, like I don't care, like sure pick me, fuck it, like
I'll pick for you, I'll pick me for you.
Yeah, like I'm sad WrestleMania is an easy out for me, like I just
nice paycheck kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
and if you can pull it to where you got everyone really rooting for Jay as the underdog.
Yeah.
Kind of give him like the Sammy vibes last year where he's like fighting for, everybody and like getting his ass beat.
I think another reason why I didn't get excited, and this again, more shower thoughts, was I was like, God, like, because it's the same feeling of when a dude on the Patriots went to another team and you're like, well, you won 5 Super Bowls with Tom. Like, okay, boo-hoo, you're not doing as well as you once did. Like, I don't feel bad about it. You got 5. He was the most dominant tag team with his brother. And I'm like, well, it's not like he never won anything.
Oh, he's won things forever.
Like,
before Roman Reigns was a thing, he was out there winning tag team titles. Yeah.
So I think that's where my kind of, like, he's won. It's not like Santino, right? Santino was just a goofball.
Yeah.
And you were like, oh no, they're making me believe that he can do it. Sammy, right? Sammy obviously won titles. Sammy looks like he just was scrounging outside the Crumble in Fresno. So I don't know. I'm about it. I don't know about you guys, but I'm like,
I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. I think overall that's going to make John's story more interesting. Him not winning it.
That's true.
And I think that was always the plan. I don't think John was ever going to win.
No, I don't think so either. But there was a part of me that just really wanted it to come down to Cena and Punk. There was a part of me deep inside that really wanted that to be the final two.
And even if it was that moment of like Punk wins, but then maybe it still builds a storyline for them for later.
Yeah. But I think what we're going to see is we're going to see a Rollins Punk Roman main event for something. Yeah. I feel like it'll be for like you have to make it for something, I think. But
yeah.
And maybe it's almost like, hey, that's a big Saturday event, and then on Sunday one of them is fighting for a belt or something. Yeah. You never know.
See that. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's how Punk gets it. So I think Paul's gonna be like Punk's gonna be like, hey, we're gonna hash this out. We all hate each other. Let's just end it.
Yeah.
And then Sunday is when he's like Paul called in his favor, but he has to win a major title, right? Punk.
Mm-hmm.
There's no satisfaction if Punk goes, oh, I want the IC title.
Yeah.
Right. It has to be Gunther or Cody.
Yeah.
To make it compelling, and I don't know.
But that's where if you get the right, so hear me out. You go, Cena gets the belt from Cody. He's gonna drop it to somebody, and then Punk gets his shot. Like maybe it goes back to Roman.
I don't hate that.
I don't hate that either.
And then it's like, and then Punk's like, you need to give me a match for the belt against Roman.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Or something where it's like, force that, like maybe it's a Seth Roman match and be like, I need to be in, make it a triple threat for the belt.
Yeah. I think that's probably what we're gonna. I think what'll happen is there'll be some sort of like title picture between Seth and Roman, and then CM Punk will show up and say, "Hey, let's make this dance a three-way."
Paul Heyman's gonna have like all the power to be like, I can add people into the match.
Yeah,
Paul, somehow. I was promised 5 fights. I will get my 5th fight.
I'll get it because they've been building up this like mysterious genie wish. You know, so it's got to be something significant, right?
I thought he was going to cash it in then.
I did too, because he went over to Paul at the end, and I was like, oh, he might.
He's like, Paul, kill him.
Yeah, kill him in front of me. Prove your loyalty. Here's a gun. Overall, what do you give? Oh, what are you going to say?
I was going to say that double stomp that Rollins hit Roman with was gnarly.
If you didn't believe Rollins hated him, that made you believe.
It really made me believe.
I thought he legitimately hated him in real life because it seemed really stiff.
Seth does a good job though. If you get a chance, Seth on the Chris Van Vliet show, you just get this vibe that he just hates CM Punk with a passion. And actually, I know we're kind of it's a Royal Rumble episode, but I wanted the pose. I kind of texted Zach about this, but one of the things, right? So David, you coming into this when CM Punk left. He did like MMA and then he did AEW and then he left because what was it? He's like,
he did MMA.
Yeah, he did. He did. Got the shit kicked in, but he did it. He lost really fast and then he did it again.
Good for him.
He was awful at it, but you know what? He went out there and did it.
Good for him.
Yeah, that's all you can say about that. But I was gonna say I will say about CM Punk, and I saw somebody post this. That no matter what, for as much as everybody hates him, he has been consistent with who he hates. Mm-hmm. He hates Vince McMahon, I guess Triple H at the time, and Stephanie, which is kind of ironic considering he's come back. But I will say and I thought about that. Now, he has always said, "No, I just don't like them."
Yeah,
you know, and obviously they offered him a shit ton of money to not hate him.
Him and Triple H buried the hatchet.
And I assume with how AEW ended, it was kind of like, oh, like it's at least way more professional over here. I'm just gonna go back here, and we've mended fences.
Yeah, I think it was because what happened at the very end was CM Punk was supposed to wrestle. So there's like this big thing where he was supposed to walk out his contract. He beats John Cena, re-signs this big contract, right? He comes back and he's a champ for a really long time, but he never had this WrestleMania main event. And then he was going to get it, but he was going to lose to Triple H. And he did not like that. He hated that. So that was kind of the end of he didn't that was what everything fell apart. So him coming back to WWE means him and Triple H really like buried the hatchet. But I think you could do some real world stuff because they were talking about that. They're like Punk. That's the one thing Punk has never had is he's never had his
Title.
WrestleMania title match main event, and that was always like in his promos and stuff. He'd always go like, I think I sent Daniel one where he was talking about like, no, like I always get slighted here. I always get, and that could be. I mean, you could really build some heat towards a championship match with him like going to Triple H, like because you could throw in some of that. And because that's what they've done with him and Rollins, because him and Rollins historically did not like each other in real life.
Okay.
Oh, really? I didn't know.
Yes. So that was real. They didn't like each other in the back. And then what they did is they, like later on, like they both got over it, right? But everyone kind of knew that who was in like the wrestling thing. So they've used that as a gimmick, is that they just hate each other. Because it was kind of well known that they had problems backstage. So they've kind of like put that and been like, no, like they legitimately hate each other. When, I mean, now I'm sure they're fine and everything is squash, but they, it was like when Punk re-signed, like Seth Rollins was on Twitter, like, no, don't let this bad man back in. So there's a lot that you could do to like pull this all together and make it pretty impactful, I think.
I think so too. I think the problem is that I like Seth, and I think he's great on the mic. But CM Punk has the gift of gab. He talks, and you can just see the promo slow, just like smoothly just come out. Because he cut when he cut on Cody, I was like, oh, I don't know if this is planned. I don't know if he's just riffing. But wow.
Oh yes, CM Punk has always roasted people on the mic. He's yeah. Yeah, though that one against Cody was crazy because you're like, oh no, Cody's gonna lose it.
CM Punk's right. You're gonna be alone and destitute.
Destitute.
Oh, jeez.
Because that is what he said. He was like, you're gonna wake up every day and everybody's gunning for you. It's lonely at the top, and you're gonna forget who your real friends are because everybody's coming for you. And he's like, you feel like your friend stabbed you in the back, and then he like gets really close to Cody, and he's like, but because I'm your friend, I'm gonna stab you in the front.
That was like, such a good line too.
Oh, CM Punk, shit.
You're gonna watch me do it.
Yeah.
The best part was Cody going, "Are you my friend?
Please."
Is it me, Jesus?
I need a friend.
Hey, if we're good to move on to the next thing, what are the thoughts on Triple H going into the Hall of Fame?
King of Kings.
Yeah, that's kind of a no-brainer, honestly.
Surprised it didn't happen earlier, or
I think so.
Yeah,
the Hall of Fame stuff's weird.
Yeah,
like the criteria. The Hall of Fame for all sports is weird because they pick. You have so many slots.
Yeah,
but.
It's a weird thing, but it's kind of a no-brainer. Him being
that's kind of what I assumed, but I was like, I don't really know. But
no, he was.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Did you guys see how they like did it with bringing HBK and Undertaker?
Oh, that's sick. No, I didn't actually.
I saw like the end. I didn't see.
Yeah, so he was doing like I assume it's like an all hands probably before Rumble with like the staff, probably some higher up staff. Either way, so he's up there talking, and then you see like behind stage it's HBK and Undertaker, and nobody knows. They're just like, we're gonna do it. And then HBK's entrance comes on, he comes out, and like Triple H is kind of like, what's happening? And then Undertaker comes out, and then they both get on the mic, and they're like, you're going into the Hall of Fame.
That's awesome.
Triple H is about to fire somebody for fucking getting the entrance music. Who's fucking did it? Oh,
okay. Who did it?
Well, he was already out there. Like he did, I found it interesting that like before this meeting, he had his entrance music come on to come out. And I was just like, you're still pulling it out. Like,
no. You're going to listen to
these people in suits and they're like, oh, there's the boss.
There's the boss. Oh, I would do that every time, dude.
You're like, I do it.
Could you imagine Stone Cold? It's just like, yep, I need it. Throw me 2 beers. I'm about to hit this mic.
I can't walk out there unless they play it, Phil.
Run it back. I got to go back in. Run it back. They didn't play it. They didn't time it right.
Well, and the other thing, I don't know if you guys probably know, I watched the Pat McAfee show and he had Stephanie McMahon on. And you know how they do Peyton's Places?
Yeah.
WWE's now doing Stephanie's Places. So similar kind of idea. It's Omaha Productions. So it's Peyton's. They're doing it through that. And so she's going to be traveling around and like kind of giving some history on WWE. I was like, that sounds cool.
That's fun. shout out to Peyton for realizing he makes way more money as a producer than than having Teddy Bruschi and fucking all these guys try to kill him for 18 years. He's like, oh, this is way safer.
So I was like, this is cool. And I'd never seen her, well, really at all. So it was interesting hearing her talk about like wrestling and stuff.
She's very smart. Her problem is that she was this is gonna sound really weird, and I don't mean this to sound weird. She was young and hot in a time when Vince was using young and hot women to sell the story, and yeah, it got weird.
Like you know how she's married to Triple H, David?
Well, didn't they have like a thing where they were together?
Yes.
Actually.
So the original storyline is that Triple H, to buy his way into the company, kidnapped Stephanie and drugged her, and then married her while she was drugged, so that he could like marry his way into the company while he had kidnapped this woman. Which is, if you've ever seen like when McMahon's like, "You come out, you rapist," and then he's outside, and Vince McMahon is like chasing him. Those memes. That is from that storyline, and from doing that storyline, Stephanie and Triple H got to know each other, and that's how they got in a relationship.
When they actually got
in
married.
Real life. Yes,
he was drugged and they got married.
And got married, which is a wild storyline.
There's no way that storyline would ever happen.
Absolutely.
You watch it now and you kind of go, "Oh, this isn't good."
Oh, he's a madman.
I assume there's a lot of storylines like that where you're like, we're really pushing the envelope.
Wasn't there one where Vince tried to marry Stephanie or some shit like that?
There was something like that.
It was a weird storyline. And Stephanie was like, "No, we're not doing that."
Didn't he have something where he was trying to hire a new secretary?
Yeah.
And he was like walking in, like there was like this old lady and then this hot woman, and you know who he picked?
Yeah, no, it was.
The best was when Linda McMahon was like in a coma and he just wheeled her around and yelled at her. She wasn't really in a coma. She was faking it the whole time.
Jeez.
I remembered everything you said as you screamed at me, "You madman." But yeah, no, wrestling is aged poorly.
It's like a fine wine now.
Like a fine wine.
I think once John came in, it kind of because kind of go back to the Stephanie thing, and I'm trying to like pedestal it, but like The Rock, all of his bits are that she's a whore.
Yeah,
like, you dumb bitch, and you're like, and now The Rock has 2 girls. Life's funny that way. But yeah, okay, yeah. So I think Triple H should be in. There's nobody. I'm sure we all at some point knew a kid who got in trouble for drinking while spitting it in class.
Yeah.
Somebody did it. Somebody got kicked out. If you didn't know who it was probably you. But yeah, so let's go into the next thing. So last week I gave the boys some homework, which was what would your walkout entrance be? And then also, who has the greatest walkout entrance? And David kind of gave me a sneak peek at his, and I think it's interesting. So I'm very excited.
Do we want to do the actual like wrestlers walkout first, and then we can do what our walkout will be?
Let's do it. So for context, everybody, the grading sheet is the full performance, the music, the lights, the pyro, whatever the wrestler does with it. Not just like, well, they have a cool like entrance song. It's like the whole package is what we're looking at right now.
Do you want me to go first since you brought me up already?
Sorry, David. Yeah, I threw you into the
No, you're good. Okay, and I'm gonna preface this. I'm new to wrestling, so it's like the scope. I'm not gonna research 1,000 people and figure out what their entrance was. So the one that I like the most is the Wyatt Six entrance.
That's cool.
I mean, I don't know how many times that they're gonna cut all the lights. It's very kind of like creepy music. Sometimes they've had strobes in there and like they'll appear on stage. I don't know if that's been done historically, but at least right now it's like nobody else has that entrance. Like everyone's got like some kind of within their framework like song, but like theirs is just like a piano playing. They've got like sparkles, and then like the crowd now is like doing their flashlights.
Yeah, the lights.
So I don't know. I just think it's a really cool entrance, and it kind of stands on its own, like nobody else. Oh, and sometimes they'll have like the chair with the lantern on it, which
for Bray is great. I love that.
Yeah, I think it's very well done, and it definitely like when it's done right, it kind of gives you that shiver down your spine of like, oh, this is creepy.
Because that door opens and there's always one of them standing and they're casting that shadow.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, they're gonna kill Chad. Chad dies here.
And the amount of times where it's like, hey, one's here, and then they're like all kind of but overall, like I just like how it's done, and I think it's very well done, and it stands alone. And maybe it's because it's a group. I don't know.
No, I like that. That's
I
a
like
good.
it too. Yeah,
That's a golf clap pick. I like that.
I didn't want to come out and be like, oh, Seth Rollins is fun, going, oh.
It is, believe me.
Or Cody, you know, like.
Yeah. Those are fun. So Zach, I'll wrap it up. So what's yours, Zach?
I'm gonna be the most white bread, uncrustable decision it could possibly be. Well, honestly, John Cena.
How'd I know?
Yeah, I thought he was gonna say Punk. Honestly.
No, as much
Good
as I love
song.
Punk's intro. Oh yeah, but as much as I love Punk's intro, when that rattle hits, the snake sound,
Yeah.
and then the whole crowd, the way everyone just goes crazy for it. It kicks out. He pops out and does his little thing, and then runs back to back, and then he points at the camera guy and talks to him.
I love
and then
that.
Throwing his hat.
Yeah, throws his hat and does his little thing, and then runs in, takes off his armband, like throws it in the crowd, bounces off the ropes. It's just it's so iconic, and it literally hits every single time.
Yeah.
So that's
I mean, it hit last night. I thought it was great.
it always does, and everyone just goes crazy, and it's been the same thing since I've been a wee lad. But
He's
it
got
never.
a good flick on the hat too.
Yeah,
I don't know if
it
you
does.
saw
It's a
last
good,
night. He like it.
He
It
gets
looked
it
like
in
a
there.
sword.
Yeah, he gets a good.
Peak hating. So John Cena wrestled at ECW once, and this was peak. Like ECW hated John Cena, and he came in and he threw his hat, and people would throw it back. So he kept throwing it back in the ring, and they kept throwing it back. It was pretty great. But yeah, I would say John Cena.
Yeah, no, John's. I mean, that's you're never gonna hear somebody say that and go, eh. All right, mine. I gotta do it for the people. I gotta do it for the culture. It's my boy Eddie.
Oh yeah, it's good.
Is my favorite with the lowrider. I lie, cheat, I steal.
Would he like roll out in a roll?
Yeah, he'll come out in the lowrider.
Yeah.
Don't act like I don't know. I don't know what his entrance was. I'm like,
Yeah, it was this cherry red lowrider that he would always come out in. And in fact, I think they're selling the lowrider as a toy now.
Oh, are they really?
I've seen some of those ads.
Yeah.
Where it's like,
Oh, yeah.
it'll like flip. Yeah.
That's the lowrider. That's Eddie's lowrider. And just I don't know, Eddie was proof. Obviously, him like Ray was proof that like Luchador scored proof. Eddie was like the biggest probably Mexican star that you were like, oh. And then if you haven't had it, I mean, obviously, I'm Eddie just has a. Have you ever had a chance? Eddie Guerrero promo versus Brock Lesnar, where he talks about being an addict. I cry every time. Every time. It's fantastic.
It's a very good promo.
It's a fantastic promo. But Eddie, at Lowrider, Viva la Raza starts out loud. I'm like, yeah, like my
I'll
Aztec
have to
soul.
look it up, or maybe you send me a good clip of it.
I will. I'll send it to you. Oh, it has me. I was like, Eddie's coming back from the dead. But I like Eddie's walkout just because one time for the people. That's my favorite.
Nah, that's a really good one.
And now the big question, the hardest question. I think they need to put this in all like the new training, wherever you get hired. What would your walkout song be if you're a WWE wrestler? I have mine. I can go first since I ended.
Yeah,
I can
good.
double it. So it's my pick is Guerrilla Radio by Rage Against the Machine, but it's a very select part. It is so there's a part in the middle of the song where the Zach De La Rocha goes, it has to start somewhere. It has to start sometime. What better place than here? What better time than now? And then the guitar riff hits. And in my mind, once like that's how it starts. It's dark.
Yeah.
You hear that whisper over it, and then the guitar riff hits, and that's when I would run out.
Oh, that's very good.
And then like he says, like, all hell can't stop us now. Like that, I think in my head, I'm like, oh fuck yeah. That's my
I'm on the way.
that's my pick. Guerrilla Radio by Rage Against the Machine.
Solid. Do you want me to go, Zach, or you want to go next?
I can go next because you started us off at last. Or do you want to actually do it? Go.
I just
I
feel
wanna-
bad because I picked
wanna
like
hear
kind of a meme
No,
one.
I want to hear it.
I want to hear David's.
Have you guys heard the song of it's by Big Sean? It's, I Don't Fuck With You.
Hell yeah.
So I just thought it'd be funny if like this pacey white guy coming out to
Hell yeah.
Dressed like the World War One with your elbow. Just
I'm gonna just full on just charge out with my elbow.
Hell yeah. I did not know that was gonna be the pick, and I like it. Hell yeah.
And you guys didn't know me then, but like my freshman year of college, like that was our anthem, and I could sing the whole song. And I was the pacey white kid hanging out with,
people like
people with more color, and so
like an onion.
they loved that I could sing it.
Oh hell yeah! Oh, I think if we get enough people to subscribe, we're gonna have to have David do a Big Sean "I Don't Fuck With You" video for us.
So yeah, that's my.
I love that.
That's what your wife saw. She went, okay, I get it.
She's never. I don't even think she's seen me sing this song. So I'll do it when we're done here. I'll go be like, "Hey Sarah, have you heard this song?"
she saw it and was like, "No, I get it. The time is now.
The time is now. Your time is up."
We're better.
Well, it's funny too.
Here.
It'd be. I mean, it's a breakup song. I didn't just listen to it recently. I was like, oh, I didn't really connect the dots. It's kind of about breakup.
Yeah. You stupid ass hoe. I don't fuck with you.
I don't fuck with you.
And Zach, take us home, buddy.
Mine would be Vultures Fly by a band called Avatar, actually.
Oh, Avatar.
It starts with this like a military transmission saying all orders to surrender are false, and it repeats that a couple times, and then that like breaks down, and then like the guitar riff kicks in. And I think that would be like a really sick, like, because I feel like a good like entrance song always has kind of like a lead in kind of a thing, and then it kicks in. I don't know. That's just
it had. I was gonna say, I feel like we both went with like the Ruthless Aggression era kind of.
Yeah.
Like,
yes. Very much Ruthless Aggression.
Kind of vibe.
Yeah. Very much so. But yeah, that would be my pick. And we should put links. We should put on TikTok videos. We should put links to the different songs.
I will. I'll be putting them once we start talking. I'll put the videos.
I want a picture of David. Just.
Have you guys heard this song?
I have. Yes. Yeah. I know it from. There's a Jason Sudeikis movie where it's about his daughter or something, and she's like nervous to be in the ballet. No, they're like dissing this girl who got the spot over her, and she's like, "Come on, like do this with me." He's like, "Okay." And it's a talent show, and they do "You Stupid," like I don't fuck with you, and they like directed at this little girl.
Oh hell yeah, that's
wow. And they're like on stage, and they're like, "Hey, this is for Cynthia." No, we don't fuck with you. So that's what I know it from.
Hell yeah. Banger. That's all I know.
Wasn't expect that was not on much like Jay winning. That wasn't on my bingo card tonight.
That's why
that was a good one though.
I was gonna sit down and come up with something a little bit more serious. Was like, nah, we're just. If I was ever in WWE, I don't think I'm having a serious career. I'm gonna be the R-Truth of WWE, and like.
Dave was like, let's have fun.
Yeah, let's just have fun.
Like him on Friday, he was like, "Hey, this is Raw, right?" And they're like, "No, no." He's like, "It's Raw." Like, what are you talking about?
I see you. I love that also too. Triple H. So Ciampa there's a famous bit with R-Truth when they get the new tag team titles, and he thinks that Triple H is Tommaso Ciampa. Yeah. So now that you know what he looks like, David, that's why he's
just the head. If you cut this up, and it's like
you're a crafty wizard, Tommaso Ciampa. Oh man, this has been fun. I have enjoyed this immensely. I'm glad we got to watch the Royal Rumble and talk about this. Thank you, Zach and David, and everybody else. If you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Tap out that like and subscribe button.
Ring the bell.
That's good. Put that on a shirt.
Oh, also, I know it's during the episode. Are we recording next week during the Super Bowl, or are we just gonna jump over that?
I mean, me and Zach can do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Since you're gonna be living La Vida Loca in Hawaii.
FIE.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so Zach or David will not be with us next week because he's living a life before he becomes a father. Congratulations, David. Now it's podcast official.
It's podcast official.
You better not let this child interfere with the most important thing in your life, which is this podcast.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say wrestling. So
we're holding that baby's eyes open while the WrestleMania is happening. No, Sarah.
No, look.
You're gonna learn and you're gonna like it.
How do you think Sarah feels when she's sitting there on her phone, just like, what am I doing here? So
when she's sleeping, you need to put like the walkout song for John Cena and have it play.
And when she wakes up, you're just jumping. Ah!
He's here to save 17 times, babe. 17 times.
Your time is up. My time is now.
But yes, please like and tap out that like and subscribe button. Don't be afraid to RKO the bell. Follow us on all of our social medias. We're on TikTok. We've gotten some really great feedback from people, and we're excited to keep posting stuff. We're on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff. And don't forget to listen to our other podcast that me and Zach do, which is the Lawyer Time Podcast, where we talk about all your favorite books, movies, video games, and more, and explain it to you so you don't have to sit there and stab your eyes out while watching wrestling. So you
Just
already know
listen to
who's
the sad men story.
It is
the tales
the
of
story
sad
man.
men. And a few women, because we don't see gender here in Lawyer Time Podcast. But yes, thank you guys again, and thank you everybody. I hope the Royal Rumble lived up to all of your expectations, and I'm excited for Elimination Chamber. Will John Cena do it? Will he get his WrestleMania shot there, or will he have to claw up from the underworld to get that title shot? Thank you, everybody, and good night.
Good night.
All right.